everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of Rise Above It podcast. I'm Elijah, as y'all know, and I got my dog.
What's up? It's Brandon. How y'all doing?
Yes, sir. I want to start off by thanking everybody for tuning into the first episode. I really appreciate the love and got a lot of good feedback. Got some feedback I needed, and I really appreciate everybody. And we're back now, and yeah, I want to start off. Let's start off with what we're going to start doing from now on at the beginning is starting off with a mental health check, just checking in. Just give me a 1 to 10, how you feeling, and just why. And then after we both go, I want to just talk about what way we can improve that, what you think you can improve to make that a little better. So go ahead, you can start first.
So first of all, I think I'm around like an 8.5. You know, I'm happy in life. I just started the electrician job. I found out the other day that I'm starting school August 9th. And then when that starts, I'm going to start making $18 an hour.
Sure.
I'm waiting for that shit. But other than that, I can improve probably just like being more open, like talking about things in that aspect. And
Is it something like do you not feel comfortable, or is it just something you're not really used to?
kind of both. It's like I be thinking like nobody's really going to care at the end of the day.
That's fine.
But it's nothing like serious or that I feel is detrimental to me. But other than that, I'm good. How you doing, bro?
I'd probably say I'm about an 8. Honestly, that 8 fluctuate throughout the week. I'm not gonna lie, it's been up and down week, but it's been good. I mean, work was crazy this week. I'm not gonna lie. I had one day. I usually average about like, I would say, when I first started, like on the floor, probably like 7-8 calls was my most calls in a day. I had 9 calls in the first 30 minutes I started work.
Oh wow!
And it was just, bro, I'm at work and I would start a ticket, like get into it, get a phone call. Got to work on that ticket. So long on the phone with the people that I forget I got this other ticket. So then sitting there, got to go back to that. It got to a point, I just stopped doing tickets and waited for a call. Just because I knew I wasn't going to be able to start it.
Exactly.
I ended the day with 28 calls.
Damn.
Bro, it was the most overwhelming day. Plus the people were being rude. It was like, I was ready to go home. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I just talked to too many people today. Like, and so other than that, really just been focused, getting ready for school too, trying to get these classes. These advisors are being too much, but I mean,
as they always
that
are.
comes. Yeah, I was gonna say that comes with it. But honestly, I think one thing I can do better this week, I was really having a problem with worrying too much. When I know I can do it, I was just kind of like, oh, like what if this happens? With just overthinking. But I have done that a lot in the past, and I still do it now. And really just trusting myself. I trust myself, but not feeding into the what ifs or the just the overthinking, really. And so I've been doing a really good job of it, because before there was a point where I kind of needed other people to kind of get me out of it. And now I can willingly do it myself. Like, I don't really want anybody to do it, because it's just, I don't need it to be like they took the credit for it. Like, it's not about that. Like, it's about helping me, like being there by my side and helping me through that type. So, I mean, other than that, really, I'm good. Like, my job's going straight. I'm really, when that stuff at work happens, I kind of just brush off my shoulder. Like, that stays at work. I don't really need to.
Yeah.
Because
it is what it is.
Literally.
It's got to be thankful you're alive.
Yeah. And so, finna get in some questions. I want to just ask you a few things, kind of do what we do. We was talking about the first episode. And so, first one I want to start off with is, when has unhappiness motivated you to make changes in your life?
That's a good question. I would say, like one example, when I had broke my ankle, like I was content at first because, you know, being in high school, don't have to go to class. Like, and when you do go to class, you leave early and stuff like that. That I love that. But on the other side of that, I gained a lot of weight. And like when I was in high school, we were working out, hella running, all that shit. But like once you graduate, they say the freshman 15. That shit for real. It's like I already was bigger, but I had gained some fat too. But I was unhappy in that, and like I would look, I was like, I got a gut, bro. Like I'm getting fat. But then I started like working out more, and like that also reverts back to my job. Like I'm sweating 24/7. We in some hot ass building, no AC, barely any fans moving, but that's been keeping me in shape, and I feel like that's like I'm not unhappy in that aspect, like of my body image. Like I don't care. I'm getting older. It is what it is.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy that you say that because kind of one of the things, this happened it happened a couple years ago, but it's very similar. Like me and your thing has to do with football and like breaking a bone. And probably that moment, the moment for myself is when I was in college and I broke my collarbone. I'm not gonna lie, that it was probably one of the craziest things. Like how the year before when we was at the tournament and I broke my other collarbone on really this another fluke accident, like really shouldn't have happened. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, when that happened, when I broke it and they told me I had to have surgery, like I was like, come on, like
Yeah, that's crazy.
like
I
I gotta have
that shit
surgery
for
the
real,
next
too.
day. Surgery the next day, and then now I got a rod on my collarbone and it's just there.
And that's painful, bro. Like
Bro.
you move your collarbone, and you don't even know.
It really be there be times where like I can touch my own collarbone, but if somebody like puts too much pressure, and it's crazy just out of the blue. And so that moment, I remember it was like everything I was working towards and doing. Yeah, I was starting to focus more on the school, but like even still, I was football, trying to prove myself. And that happened is like that all came to a halt, and it was like, now what? Like, luckily it happened my freshman year, so it's not like I'm all the way in like sophomore, junior, and I get hurt. And so I was able to actually like my major, it was towards like public relations and like mass communication, stuff like that. I was able to really like, okay, now I really got to lock into school, because if I want to do what I really want to do and really want to, I'm not gonna say be somebody, but like if the things I talk about I want to achieve, it's not just gonna be handed to me. Like I know I gotta get it. And so finding something that still made me still connected to football, like public relations, being a sports agent, that's really what I'm trying to do. That's really that unhappiness, that happening so abruptly, and like me just having a, like I was done 3 injuries in 3 years, like was kind of done with football. That's what really made me like, all right, what am I going to do that's going to really not even like prove nothing to nobody, but just how am I going to really do what I got to do? And so really that's probably the biggest moment for real, because it's crazy how we both have similar moments, and it comes from a sport that we love to play. Like we used to have the best time in the world for real playing football. And so this is one I think is really good. What's a part of your personality or personhood do you find most challenging to accept, and why?
Probably being stubborn, hard-headed. I feel like everybody is a little bit, but
For sure.
I'm a little stubborn.
Do you think it sometimes gets in the way of, like, do you think you block your blessings sometimes when you being stubborn? Or
No, like I'm stubborn to an extent. Like if it's my boss telling me to do something, obviously I might not like it or not want to do it, but I'm gonna have to do it. So, but other than that, no.
I really think personally the part of myself, this is really funny. Part of myself is I've worked on it a lot, but I can become very impatient.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like when I know I can do something and like I know I can do it, if you don't do it to the same level or it looks the same, I start to get very impatient because it's like, please just move out the way. Let me just handle it. And so I've accepted it, but sometimes I feel like I'm impatient just because I'm trying to, just I was talking about the last time, just trying to control everything and doing the most. And now me really being aware of myself more, I really understand that, like, yo, just chill. Because I've realized, like, hurting my collarbone, like, I had to be patient for real. Because there was, when I had first broke it, when I'm sitting there, I was by myself. I was like, bro, I'm really about to be nothing. Like, this one thing I've worked towards, now it's just done like this. Like, what am I going to do? I wasn't patient. Because what am I going to be patient for? I just broke my collarbone. Like, there's no way anything. Just overthinking, thinking negatively, and being patient and waiting things out. I talked about wanting to do a podcast when we were seniors in high school. Like,
Yeah, I remember that.
I didn't think I was going to do that. When I broke my collarbone, that was the last thing I was worried about. Like, now we here, like, it just shows that though things like that showing me patience, how it turns out for the better, that has caused me to be a lot more patient and accept that being patient will really turn out something good for me, and I don't have to rush the result. And so it
allowed you to rise above it.
Okay. So this is the last question of one of these, and we want to get into some sports with you. How do you think you can make peace with the unknown? For example,
What do you mean by that?
how can you, that you don't know, that you haven't experienced, and that you're afraid to encounter for whatever reason, how do you think you can make peace with that? I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, you go first.
I think one way I can make peace with the unknown is understanding that when the time comes, I'll be prepared. Right now, it's, of course, the nervousness is there because I'm not prepared. And I know when the time comes, I'll be prepared. It's cool. Like, it's normal for me
that makes sense.
It's normal for me to feel nervous about something I've never done before because I've never I don't have enough experience. And without experience, of course, that nervousness is going to come. So I think understanding that it's all right. Like, when the time comes, I'll be ready. And if I'm not, I know I will be at some point. I'm gonna keep fighting till I make it. So I think that's one thing making it peace is that understanding that it's unknown for a reason. And when it's time for me to know it, it's time for me to know it, and I will know it. But what do you think?
Talking about like the zombie apocalypse or some shit?
No, I'm just. I just think.
Nah, I see what you mean though.
It's like if you stress about it, you're gonna continue to stress about it. Like it's normal for you to be nervous about that stuff, and so I just think it's important to really just focus on the present, focus on what you can focus on now, like
control what you can control.
Exactly. Yeah, bro. I just think it's kind of funny. I see a lot of people kind of get mad about those things and stuff like that, and it's normal. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Everybody was there and stuff like that, but gotta rise above it.
Oh God.
So into some sports and stuff like that. Bronny James, the older son of NBA star LeBron James, suffered cardiac arrest during basketball practice at the University of Southern California and was hospitalized Monday. And on Thursday, he was discharged and he's at the home. He's at the crib recovering. Just
what we was just talking about too, like the unknown. Like they probably never thought that was going to happen to him. It's crazy for someone.
Kid,
exactly.
Like,
he just started at USC.
Healthy
it's not like
kid.
He's this grown ass man.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think it's crazy, bro, because it's like, how do you can't, just like you said, you can't prepare for nothing like this. I mean, yeah, you can with like the physical trainers or whatever, the people that train for it, but like that can happen at any point. Like that's a 1 in a million chance type thing. So I think it's crazy, and it's crazy how, bro, I was seeing on the internet and stuff like that they had this happen before, bro. It's like a kid that's on the USC team. This same thing had cardiac arrest,
that's
bro.
A bad look, bro.
And he got like, it was kind of some workouts, happened on the thing. They pumped. He missed some time. He ended up playing like 14 games, bro. And like, it was just like, dang, like.
I know you remember. I forget. It was like some Florida player not too long ago that like collapsed during the game. Yep. It's like, bro, I don't know if they drinking some supplements or whatever that's causing it, or overworking, but that shit's scary, bro.
I think
you don't see that shit happen in kids.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's the craziest thing, because like, you know, when somebody's maybe a little older, a little more been alive longer, it would maybe you can make connections to certain things, but like, bro, this 18-year-old kid, healthy kid, his dad's LeBron, bro. Like,
that you know, bro, look, he take care of himself. Yeah, he's still in the NBA.
Yeah, so I think it's crazy, bro. Like, I think it's really wild how this shit could just happen just out of the blue like that and stuff like that. So, more on some basketball news. This is really, really crazy. The Boston Celtics signed All-NBA forward Jaylen Brown to a 5-year, $304 million Supermax contract extension, making him the highest paid player in the NBA in terms of contract value in the history of the league. I'm not going to lie. The reason he it's crazy, he almost missed out on it. The only reason he got it was because he got all second team, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so
something in the contract.
Yeah, bro, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of crazy because as much as I do think he deserves it, I think it's a little crazy. Like yo, what you... Jaylen Brown, he's straight, but bro, Jason Tatum's finna... What are you going to give Jason Tatum?
That's what I'm saying. He's not even a number one.
Yeah, like... Jason Tatum,
$300 million. That's crazy.
Jason Tatum's the number one. He's their franchise player. He's getting the bag.
But I fuck with what he was saying in that video you were talking about. He was like, he wants to help Boston, like give out to the community and stuff like that. Like, that's what you should do.
That's
especially if you getting all that money in 5 years.
For sure, he's making like, he's making big time money for real, and so it's I do like that point you just made about how I love that video, bro. When he was talking what he's wanting to do in the community and trying to with minorities and stuff like that. I really love to see it for real. Like, that's really important, and
especially in Boston.
Yeah, bro. Like, and so, yeah, bro. Some other stuff. Saquon, we was talking about last week about the running backs and stuff like that, and how these contracts been kind of crazy and how the whole market for them. Saquon signed a 1-year, $11 million contract with the New York Giants after previously holding out on a new contract. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Why did he sign that?
That's basically the Giants telling him, we can't pay you your money now, so we'll give you this till next year. And watch, they're going to twirl next year, too.
Yes. He's going to play this year. He's going to do his thing because it's Saquon Barkley, but that franchise tag is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, for what? Why do they? I get it, but it's like this situation shows its bad angles, like where they're bad spots in it. And so I just think come on, bro. You 11 mil for 1 year for Saquon Barkley after the year he just had. With all due respect, Daniel Jones was doing his thing, but Saquon was carrying.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't.
They was like, we don't got the money to pay you. And you know why? Because they paid Daniel Jones.
Like, that's crazy, bro. I'm not going to lie. And then your boy Josh Jacobs, he's still holding out. He's holding out with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro. He was just a leading rusher last year.
Yeah,
and did they franchise tag him too or no?
He tried, but he didn't sign it. Something like that. But you know, the running back, what is it? The position is dying because it's all the running backs. Dalvin Cook. I seen something that they were saying the Jets were at the top of his list.
He went to go visit them.
That would be crazy.
That would be outrageous.
Fuck it.
I seen the other day Austin Eckler the dude who played for the Chargers, he had a Zoom call with all the running backs.
did see
he
that.
had like all of them, all the big time running backs was all in the call. I'm not gonna lie, I like that, but like, for what? Like, I get y'all finna talk about it, but you think they're gonna just be like, okay, because y'all had that conversation and all the running backs got together, like, it's just cool. So I think it's a little. I do see where it makes sense because of the value and stuff like that, but I do think it's unfair as well. So it's really crazy for real. I'm gonna ask you a little bit more questions, kind of just chopping it up and stuff like that, and then we're gonna let the girls come on and chop it up, ask them some questions, get to it, stuff like that. Let's see. When is it best not to fit in the crowd?
When they doing some dumb shit. That's how people get in trouble in the first place. They think they friends, that shit they doing is cool or whatever. But some shit like that.
Yeah.
You got to be yourself because there's only one you.
That's
when niggas get lost in the crowd for real.
It's facts. I think really when it's best not to fit in the crowd is when someone's insecurities or other people's insecurities are pushed onto you.
Mm-hmm.
To when you're wanting to bounce a thought off of them, see what they think. When they try and push their insecurities onto you, trying to tell you like, oh no, you shouldn't do that because they wouldn't do it. I think that would be that's the best moment to me to not fit in with the crowd, because if you just fit in with the crowd and what everybody else doesn't think you'll do, you'll never do what you want to do. You'll continue to feel like you're not making progress. You'll feel like you're just like the crowd. They're in the crowd for a reason. So yeah, bro, I think it's important to stand on what you believe on.
For sure.
Believe in. Like, it's all right. Some people, not everybody's going to agree with what you agree with. Like, there's a reason why everybody has different dreams. Like, so it's cool. Like, appreciate that they have that point of view because they have different dreams from you. It's not a personal attack. It's not because it's just their viewpoint is different from yours. If accept that and appreciate that they have a different point of view, because you wouldn't come to them if you didn't value their opinion or value their presence in some sort. So I think it's important, bro, to really, of course, you can ask your peers and stuff like that what you think and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you got to make the decision for yourself. And if you can't live with the decision, then don't make the decision. I think it's important to just stand on it and do what you got to do. And if people don't like it, they'll like it when you're on the top.
Every successful person started out great.
Exactly. And a lot of successful people didn't get
lower pack,
didn't get all yeses. They didn't all say yes at first. All them people had to go through no's. Mm-hmm. People telling them their dream was ain't shit, that's not gonna work. What are you talking about? Why would you do that? And so I think it's important to really just focus on you, bro. And I got some other ones on my phone. I'm really just look it up. How's your week been? How's everything been going with your mom? How'd they treat the birthday? Was it good?
Oh yeah, it was good. We had the family went over there, had some cake. She get this one, it was like vanilla cake and they got like strawberries in the middle. Mm-hmm. It was good as hell, but we had that, and then we was going to go in the pool, but as soon as we got there, it started getting cloudy and shit. Like, bro, every time we mention pool, it want to rain, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good. Work's been good. It's finally Friday.
Yeah,
ready for the damn weekend. I never thought I'd appreciate the weekends more than I do now. Like,
yeah, honestly, bro, I've been working and working.
Oh God.
And working.
It's all pretty much everybody's been doing for real.
When I come home, I'll work on some stuff for the podcast, figure some stuff out for school, then I'm chilling. But I be going to sleep early, like sometimes I do be staying up late, but I don't know why. I just nothing but work, bro. On the weekends, I have my couple days off. I do what I can do during those 2 days, and then it's back to work. I don't even try and text nobody during the week. Only person I really text during the week is Jaren, and that's just because he'll always pull up. Like, it ain't never no problem. But everybody else, I know everybody else doing stuff, and so it ain't really no point.
Niggas be tired.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, we're gonna take a little break. Let the girls come on, then we're gonna get right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, gang.
Yep. All right, everybody, we're back. I got Skylar and Julia. Y'all say what's up.
What's up?
And so, just to kind of start off, same thing I did with Brandon. Start off with a mental health check, 1 to 10. How you're feeling and why, and then a way you can think you can improve on that to kind of get rid of that, make it better. And so, Skylar, you can start first.
Oh god, a scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 7. I could definitely improve on it just by getting those like little things done that you like get lazy and forget to do throughout the day. I feel like that's the only thing that's like making my mood worse, because it's like there's just things that I need to get done throughout the day that I've been avoiding, so I'm like stressed because of it. But other than that, I've been in a great mood.
That's good.
I've been so happy lately.
Is the family doing well? Everybody's doing well?
Yep.
Does your brother, does he still go to Signals?
Yeah, he does. He'll be a senior.
Dang.
That's
crazy. Julia, how about yourself? 1 to 10, how you doing mental health, and how you feeling and why? And then I want you to think of a way you can improve on that.
Career going great, but the rest of me fading slowly. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, bitches is overwhelmed, but I'm good. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. That's best and believe, everything happens for a reason and in divine timing at that. So, just, hanging by a thread, but we here.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and how do you think you can really improve and make yourself not really, I don't know, because
it's more adjustment. It's not even like I don't, because I know I'm good. I'm still here. I'm not losing it or nothing. But like, it's more so like adjusting, adapting, and not complaining about, what's changed and what's to come. And, what I believe is everything is already written. Like it's already there. It's already, everything's happening exactly how it's supposed to. So I don't take nothing for, I take everything as a blessing or a lesson and just kind of adapt and adjust. So I think my mental health will get better once I have adapted and add on my, workout routine as well as my journaling more. But I think because of the adjustments to my schedule, I haven't been able to work out or journal as much as I usually do, where that's my release. And I haven't gotten to do that. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm hanging by a thread. I'm straight, though. I swear I'm good. Believe me, I know for a fact that there is millions of other people going through millions of other worse things.
That's very true.
And that's why I don't complain.
Facts.
Just adapt.
So we're going to get into kind of the same questions. Just wanting to really, I'm not going to lie, you two, I'm really interested on your guys' answers. Just because I know you guys are going to really give in-depth answers. Wow. When has unhappiness motivated you to make changes in your life? Julia, you can go first.
If you can't think and you need a second, I can go
first because I have I have many ways to answer that question.
All right, I'll give you time. Go ahead.
I would say the whole experience I had moving to Tallahassee and going away for college, it was probably like the toughest year of my life. Like just everything about it. And I feel like now, like that experience has propelled me to where I am now. And like, I'm getting so much shit done. Like I'm surrounded by like amazing people now. Like it's just, my life has like 180. So
that's really good.
Yeah.
Do you think that time was there in that moment when you were moving out and stuff, did you think you would be where you're at now? or was there? Did you
like when
couldn't-
I moved there?
Yeah, like could you?
Like,
were
did I
you
expect
knowing
all
that
that?
everything was gonna pan out and stuff like that?
I think everything, it sounds stupid, but I feel like everything kind of happens for a reason. And I feel like I needed to experience all of that to get to like where I am now, like for so many different reasons.
For sure, you feel like it happened for a reason, and a lot of things that you carry with yourself today, you learned from that situation.
Right. With like friends, school, like work, like literally everything.
That's really good. Julia, come back to you. When has unhappiness motivated you to make changes in your life?
I think every time I'm unhappy, I'm motivated to make change. When I'm unhappy in a job, I start looking for jobs. When I'm unhappy in my relationship, I start to, head towards. So luckily enough, I've been very happy in my relationship, but in my past one, there's been many occurrences where I'm like, okay, like I'm not doing good. I almost feel like two people sometimes, like, is that bipolar disorder? I don't even know. I feel like that sometimes though.
I don't know what that is.
You know what I'm saying though? Like you sit there and you're like, yo, I actually read something and it said this guy was like about to kill himself, whatever. And he said, I can't live with myself. And he was like, wait, if I can't live with myself, like I can control being able to live with myself. If that makes sense. I know it's such a weird concept to explain, but like you're able to control your happiness and your well-being and your self-care and your self-love as long as you are so completely aware of like your life. You have to live in the present to know what you like and what you love. And if you don't love what you do, start looking. Like life is so short. Don't the comfort is your enemy. Comfort will be the death of you. You got to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and that's in every aspect of life. Like you got to really be, aware and present to be like, okay, like if I hate my life, something is contributing to it.
Right.
So that's kind of how I view it. Every time that something would make me unhappy, I would kind of take that and, maneuver my way around it. I didn't like my job. I started looking for other jobs. So luckily enough, I've never had a moment where I was like super duper depressed. Like obviously in relationships, you get depressed because you feel almost stuck because you love the person, but they're bringing you down. They're bringing you down to the ground. Like
that's an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah,
but that shit happens.
You gotta continuously just be aware and open to change. As scary, as uncomfortable as it is, you gotta be open to change. So that's kind of how I view it.
Yeah.
It was really another thing I want to ask you guys. What is the what's the best advice you've ever received? I honestly
I was about to say, I have a quote immediately.
go ahead.
My dad says this to me all the time. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So that's why I'm so OCD and overprepared, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Like literally that's like embedded in my brain at this point, because like preparation is key. And that's almost why being introduced to something new is so scary to me, because I don't know what I'm walking into. But at the same time, you got to just be open to what you're walking into, even if it's so new and so. That's being open to change, So.
That's definitely something my dad and my mom have definitely taught me. My dad is such a calculated person. Like that's one thing I've definitely. It's with another question we'll get into, but yeah, my dad is really, really calculated and always taught me to make sure I know what I'm doing before I get into it, because once you're in it, you can't really, you're in it. You got to keep going. And so that's carried with me with a lot of things, like football, with my jobs, with friendships, with relationships, everything. Like it goes hand in hand with everything. And so I think it's really important to really just prepare. It's what I was talking with Brandon earlier. When you're prepared, there's no need to be nervous. Like,
right.
When you're nervous, you haven't prepared enough. And that I understand your nervousness when you aren't prepared, because you don't know what you're getting into. You're going into the unknown. And so
but that's one thing. At the same time, you got to take those opportunities, Like it's hard because you want to be, for me, I'm OCD as hell. So I walk into places like literally shaking in my boots. Like you see me walking in, I'm like, hi. I'm shaking. Like if you touch me, I'm shaking like I'm about to have a heart attack. But I'm straight. I'm just unprepared, and I'm not. I'm not aware of what I'm about to walk into. But also, it could be such an incredible, amazing opportunity for yourself. So you kind of gotta just jump into it.
Facts. That's the biggest thing. Is like you don't know what you don't know. Like just jump into it. Do what you. Obviously, you're not gonna know it because it's when you dream of something. It's just a dream. You haven't experienced it. That's why it's a dream. And so you guys just put your foot out there and just. You got to be all in. I don't think you can be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You got to be all in because you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out and expect a result without working towards it. Like,
you have to take risks.
You got to take risks. You got to be fully committed. And if you're not fully committed,
life is
you can't expect the.
Life's too short.
Literally, you can't expect the best result. And so, one thing. What traits have you guys inherited from your parents? 2 positive and 2 negative. I'll go first. Just to guys can piggyback off of anything I say and stuff like that. I think I was just talking about it earlier. One thing I learned from my dad is to make sure I'm planned and like don't just jump at the first thing. Like just be patient, wait it through. And that's really gotten me a lot of help, and a lot of things I've really gotten is because of that. And so when I do it a couple of times and I see it working out for me, I don't see why I should stop it.
Right.
And another thing from my mom is being on time. My mom used to stress that to us. Like, we used to be on time everywhere.
To everything. We'd be late to our own funeral. What the fuck is he talking about? I mean, for real. The casket gonna be there. Everybody not gonna be there. I
gotta be fully prepared before I get there.
Brandon
even if
says
it means I'm late.
Brandon says 6. We not leaving till like 6:20, 6:30.
Leaving at 7:30.
Literally. And so
I'm on.
We used to be everywhere early. Like we would get there early and sit there. We'd be in the car chilling. Like my mom would take us somewhere, and we get there 15 minutes early. Get the first people in the parking lot chilling and stuff like that. And so that was something. But I think the 2 negative. One thing I will say, I don't know. I think it's both of my parents. Yeah, I would say both of my parents. When certain things bother me, I need to talk about it right now. Like, let's have this conversation right now, because to me, if it bothers me that much, I feel like I should speak on it right then and there. Just to get out the way, to like me having to act different towards you, or like me trying to act to just completely shut down. I'm not trying to do the shutting down. I'm not trying to close myself off. And so doing stuff like that,
that's something I struggle with.
I do it.
I'm really bad at communicating. And if I feel like somebody like hurt me in some way, like it's hard for me to like talk to them about it. I think because, the way you act is all because of like experiences in your past. And
trauma.
Right. And I feel like I've just been like shut down so many times in the past, or people try to like talk circles around you. So like if somebody upsets me, sometimes it's hard for me to like tell them like, you're hurting my feelings. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've definitely been that person. There's been things that I may not say, and I may bring it up later on. And when I bring it up later on, I'm probably exploding, because I usually just chill. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think it's worth the trouble or worth the stress to really make it what it is like that. And so I usually just chill until it's like, nah, like, now you got me fucked up. Now I'm really about to press you about this, and like we're gonna talk about it right now. And
a lot of times it ain't that serious.
That's another thing. And
sometimes you just gotta let things go the way they do. And I realized, and I talked to my friend Cassidy about this. I mean, people like consider the way that we act like, oh, you're being fake. No, I'm being civil. I'm not being fake. I'm just not causing problems. Because you want me to act how I want to act? it's gonna get real ratchet. I'm just saying, it's gonna get
That's
hectic in
really
this
what it
building.
is.
But I'd rather, act calm, cordial, cool, and collected, and allow
Facts.
things to go seamlessly. I'm not trying to get, in no fights, physical, mental, emotional fights, nothing with nobody. So that's why it's just the easiest route to go. Being cool,
Facts.
cool with it, civil.
Julia, I'll start with you. What are some things? What are some traits you've inherited from your parents?
Oh my God!
You can give, if you want to give one positive, one negative, just to make it easier. If you want to do more, do as many as you want.
I think I'm like a perfect mixture of my parents. Honestly, I definitely have. It's like me and my sister, my younger sister Sylvia. Shout out Sylvia, and she gonna be watching this shit. Hey,
Yeah.
but I think I got these traits from my parents, which is like a blessing and a curse. So I'm like very much so emotionally empathic, like my mother. She's a school teacher, so like we have a heart for everybody around us. Like even if we don't know them, we have such a big heart. And I mean, even towards strangers, like I feel for them. They tell me their stories, and like it truly does a number on me. I'm like, damn, like you've been through it. Like my problems are so small. They're nothing compared to what this person has gone through. So that's why I'm and I feel like what sucks about that is a lot of people think that I'm fake because of that. Like they think that I'm being fake because I'm so nice, but like really it's more just like I really do feel for you. Like I might not come off as though I feel as much for you, or maybe I come off too much like I feel for you. And that comes off like, oh, she's not being real. No, I'm being overly real. Like I sit there and I'm like, oh my God, like, and then I think about it later. I'm like, damn, this person went through that, and I'm like, I couldn't imagine. Like, it really does a number on me. And I'm like my father in the sense that I'm like extremely driven, OCD as hell. Like if something needs to get done, it's going to get done within moments' notice. Like it needs to be done. I'm very OCD like him. Like we write lists. We write in planners. Like it keeps us very scheduled, and we stay on top of things. The both of us have multiple sources of income, multiple jobs. So I feel like daily life, I'm just like my dad. Like we go to the gym, we do this, that, go to our second job, first job, whatever. Like we're very much so, we're like the same person. But in the emotional sense, I'm very much so like my mother, because I care so much. Where my dad, he's very like cold. He's like, I don't give a damn. Like, for real. Where my sister is sassy like my mother. She has the sass from my mother, and she has the cold-heartedness from my father, which it's perfect because she keeps me in check. Because I probably would get played if it weren't for her in the past. Like, she'd be like, nah, that bitch fake. Like, be for real. Watch how she move. Where I'm so quick to trust, like my mother. So that's what I get from my parents for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm Skylar.
I'm going to keep it short because I can't think of two things for both off the top of my head. But from my dad, I think I get my, like, creativity. Like, I'm really into art, and, like, he's also into that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it's because he's, like, super emotional like me, too. So, like, we, like, express our emotions through the art and stuff like that. Like, it's very therapeutic.
Do you draw?
I draw, I paint.
That's
whatever I'm feeling in the moment.
That's nice.
It's a good outlet, but with my mom,
she good at it too.
Yeah, I have seen a couple of your things.
I'm gonna start selling my art soon. Actually, I'm working on getting my Etsy together this weekend. So probably by the next episode, I'll have like my name and all that stuff, and I can do a little link.
Oh God, we'll definitely plug that in. We're gonna definitely be plugging in a lot of different things. Next week, I'm glad you said that. Next week, I'm gonna have the mock-ups of the different clothing I want to do and stuff like that. So we'll do the whole thing and stuff like that. But anything else?
And then I guess for my mom, this is all I can think of off the top of my head, but she's so stubborn, and I'm definitely very stubborn. I don't like to listen at all. That I have a problem with that. I mean, I can listen. I can listen to authority, like if I have to, you know, if it's like my boss or something, but if you're like trying to tell me where to go and I have like the GPS in front of me and you're like, no, it's this way, like I'm not going to listen to you.
Oh my God.
It's probably something I need to work on, but
I mean, at least you can recognize you need to work on it.
She's adversarial, if you will. She's very much so.
Let's see. Oh, I definitely want to hear, and I could think of something else. What part of your personality or personhood do you find most challenging to accept?
Oh my God. Go on, Skylar.
You want me to
You
go?
first, Skylar. I want to hear your answer, girlfriend.
Oh, what part of my personality? Oh gosh, I guess is being super emotional part of my personality. Is that like a personality trait, being like emotional?
Yeah.
You're like the most emotionless person I know. It's very scary.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah,
good
I'm
way to
kinda like
put
that.
it. It's a good way to put
I'm not
it.
gonna lie.
It gives conniving,
My emotions.
toxic.
Maybe just a little. Just a little.
Yeah, my emotions kind of go up and down at times. I
I
definitely.
think everybody's does.
It's
And that's
gotten way
why
better, but it used to.
It's
I'm
like people putting a
happy.
label on every
Yeah.
emotion, like, oh, you have bipolar disorder, you have this, that, the third
It's
disorder.
not even
It's
just
like,
bad emotions.
you're a human being. That's what you are. You're not, you
Facts.
know, animals like
Yeah, no.
ourselves aren't supposed to be feeling emotions to the extent that we are. You know,
Right.
we're a lot further evolutionarily. Is that a word? Evolutionarily. Growingly. I don't know.
I don't know, but I like what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, really, like you turn the electricity off, we all apes at the end of the day. So I'm fine. I'm keeping it a buck. We all apes. You turn the lights off, everybody gonna tweak. Okay. I'm saying sorry.
No, you good. Is there anything else, Skylar?
what was the question again?
What's the part? Okay. What's a part of your personality you find most challenging to accept?
No, I guess that would be it, because that is challenging. I
emotions?
feel like I have like super intense feelings of like love, and that can cause, you know, super intense feeling of like anxiety, depression, like whatever. And it's like,
For sure.
you know,
I definitely understand.
I hold it in pretty well though, I think.
I
don't
think
know. You
I
guys
do
are my
too.
friends. What do you think?
I think you do try and hide it, but I mean,
It's hard to hide.
being a person that thinks he hides it very well, I can pick up when somebody's hiding it. So
Right. But you guys are also my best friends, so I hope you'd know if something is wrong.
no,
with me.
yeah, and honestly, I don't really. I feel like that's more of Julia's place to ask you
That
that.
is
That's not really my
more
business for
Julia.
real. And so
Of course.
I get it. Like,
I've been on the phone
I'm
with
not
her for
tripping.
5 hours at a time.
Yeah,
sometimes.
like I'm not
Gotta
gonna
talk
lie.
it out, you know.
I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't.
I love it.
We're really good friends, but I'm not sitting on the phone with nobody for 5 hours talking. Not gonna lie.
We just
Brandon-
get kind of lost in conversation.
Brandon, I wouldn't do that. Maybe one person, but other than that, it's not really happening. But honestly, ask a couple more questions and then go ahead and get out of here. Who have you tried to be in the past, and were you successful? Julia, want to hear yours first.
Wait. You said who have I tried to be?
Like, who were you like?
Like, who do I look up to, or who do I?
Nah, who were you trying to? Was there someone, not someone, or was there something you were trying to be, like trying to portray that you weren't really, or not?
I'm not gonna lie.
And were you successful in doing it, or?
Probably not since I was in high school, honestly. Ever since I graduated high school, I'm like, thank God. Because I'm like, thank
Excellent.
God, I'm done. I can actually be myself. But actually, I lie. Probably up until like junior year, because senior year, I mean, I would do whatever I want. Like, I started throwing parties like crazy. I wore a wig to school, and this girl dyed her hair brown.
Was it it's the brown wig?
Yeah, I wore a brown wig to school.
That wig is iconic.
I was like, fuck it. And people were there was 2 girls in my classes that dyed their hair brown. I'm like, girl, I can take this hair off. Like, and then I wore shades to school for fun. Like, cause I only had like 4 classes in my senior year, 3-4 classes. And girls would come in with shades. I'm like, girl, I was just doing it for fun. Like,
you're setting trends.
No. But that's when I started to really know myself. And I almost feel like once I got out of my past really toxic relationship, that's when I became myself, where I wasn't myself before. And also on top of that, when I was ending my last relationship, I had these really amazing friends, but I was almost not being myself to them in a sense. Like, I was kind of like, they were these perfect girls with long, beautiful, luscious hair. I have curly, crazy, fluffy, voluminous, like, I have like a fro if I take off this hat. I mean, obviously it's not to the extent that it would be. This is just from the rain, but like, I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin, and just kind of chiseling away and learning myself and learning what I love about myself. So just towards the end of high school is when I started to really be myself. I don't know.
I like that. I like that answer. I'm glad you were able to.
But now I'm like, I don't give a damn. Somebody gonna say something about it anyways. And at the end
for
of the day,
real.
they're talking about you,
That's
and you the
facts.
topic of conversation. So thank you
Skylar,
for keeping me in the loop.
we'll go with you, and then
Behind my
I'll
back.
give my piece. Who have you tried to portray in the past, and were you successful?
High school is such a good example of when you're like trying to
That's my fault.
trying to be somebody that you're like not.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even like throughout middle school for me, like I was always trying to like live up to my parents' expectations. You know, they tell me all the time like how they were in high school and how they're so cool and they have all these friends and they're doing all these things. And then I was like, oh shit, I need to go to parties. Like I need more friends. Like, and you know what I mean? Like I kind of got into this like world that like, I don't know if I would have got into if I wasn't trying to like
You almost
make
try
them
to,
happy.
Like, yeah, you almost try to like.
Be like, look, I'm like you guys.
Yeah, and I want like being like them, and like now that I'm older and I'm like not like that, they're like, oh, like
You
this
try
is
to
you,
make yourself
you know?
just like them. Like you
Right.
try to be exactly in a sense like.
And but a lot of parents like want their children to kind of grow up like them too. So I feel like it's hard. Like there's like a pressure almost.
Yeah.
With some moms especially too, where they're
Exactly.
trying to like push. They want to like put themselves like in their daughter almost.
I feel it.
And like I guess it was just a pressure
the
to
same
just
thing with
be like my
dads.
parents. Yeah.
Dads do it with sons too.
Yep. I see it with my dad and my brother.
Yeah.
But it's like he's also in high school at that
I mean,
impressionable age. He's like,
I-
whoa, I'm like, Dad, you know.
I never had, I mean, as you see it, I've always had curly hair my entire life. I had extensions when I was in high school, and these girls that I was best friends with, they confronted me like, you have extensions? I'm like, no.
What does it matter if I have extensions?
I did have
Right.
extensions.
Why-
I got it in the back of a hair shop by some lady that put my hair in cornrows and stuck the goddamn extensions in the back, but
Right.
like weaved it in. But you almost try to put yourself to their level in that sense, and it sucks that you have to change how you look and how you're perceived
Yeah.
because you feel most comfortable looking the most like them because you feel like they're above you. They're not.
Well,
Clearly.
and you look up to your
But-
parents, you know,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you're young and, you know, you're a little naive and you're like, I want to be
Yeah.
just like them.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you start noticing those little things about your parents that you don't notice until you're an adult. And you're
Oh my
like,
God.
I want to be
Adult-
kind of like you, but like, you know, we want to be our own people. And
I saw a tweet that says adulting is finding out that everyone in your family is mentally ill.
no, literally.
Come on, Neil. That's real.
One thing, what have I tried to be in the past and was I successful? I think one thing I used to do, I wouldn't say I was really successful at it. I try to act like things didn't bother me when it really did. And especially in high school, it's a perfect example. We used to be in high school. People used to crack jokes about things, and like my brother and my sister would joke with me. So like it didn't really bother me that much. But like the certain times you would say it, like we around everybody, you say it. It would really, I would act like it didn't bother me, but it really did bother me. And so used to really, I would be like, oh, it doesn't bother me. And then I would just go back home and I would be sad or whatever. And I realized that, like, no, it's okay to, I didn't care.
It's okay to feel.
Yeah, like I acted like I didn't care because I didn't want people to think I cared so much about certain things. And now I've kind of gotten to the point where it's like, no, like it's okay to care that much.
Have emotions.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it goes back to what you're saying. Like, I don't know if it's just males, like men, but
the male suicide rate is so high right now. Like,
yeah, like
men, like
I
young
used to
men
not
committing suicide because they're not capable of expressing themselves. I mean, and that's why it's like everybody. It's
I thought it
almost
was
like
weird
a
to
clash.
do that.
It's like a clash because half the men are, you know, like they're raised. Well, most men actually are raised off of emotions, saying like, "Man up."
Yeah.
Like, get
Yeah.
it together. Like, you're the man here.
Boys
like,
don't cry.
You know, boys don't cry.
Facts.
Exactly. Like, you got to get it together. You know, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. And it's like, they're not fine this whole time. They're not fine.
I think it's so attractive when guys are like emotional
Yeah,
though,
like,
especially
just-
because like, you know, they're usually taught not to be emotional. So.
No, I know, but it kind of sucks because it's like kind of a clash on tradition in that sense. 2020s have brought such wokeness to
Yeah.
the male perspective of emotional, you know, feelings and
Mental
acting.
health
What's
has been
okay.
a big thing.
Well, yeah, because before it was like you gotta like get it together. You're fine. You're fine. Like you're a man. You should be this, that, what. But at the end of the day, like they got emotions too. Give them a
Facts.
break. Damn. Like, but like at the same time, it's like girls expect them to pay for meals and this, that, like. And yeah, I feel like the first couple of days is like it's appropriate. I guess it's traditional to pay for dates and things like that. But you know, that's kind of the same way that everything has gone out of tradition. That goes out of tradition.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like
Everything starts to be old news.
yeah, like if you know, the things are so expensive. Don't be afraid to be like, okay, I can help pay for this. Obviously, like once you know each other, of course, like give it time. But really, just play it by ear. You know, feel the vibes. I feel like people need to live more in the present and
Facts.
I
be more
agree.
aware of others' emotions. I've always felt like that because I'm so like empathic. I'm like, okay, is this person okay? Like, it doesn't even matter if I know you. I'm like, is she good? Like,
I didn't realize.
baby, are you good? I don't even know the girl. Like, I'm not drunk or
like
nothing.
all
I'm
girls
just
do
like,
that.
are you okay?
All girls, oh my God, are you okay? Like, bro, you don't even know her. Why are you saying that to her? Like, bro,
for
keep it moving.
real,
Like, if I
you
see
know-
a guy, I'll be like, yo, you good? If he says yeah,
Right.
I'm all right. I'm
Yeah.
keeping it moving. Like, you said you good, so you good.
But a lot of
Still a
times, if a
human
girl is like,
being.
"Yeah, I'm okay," she's like, "She's not okay."
I feel like we're in such a lack
Like-
of
But I mean,
humanity
I
right
just
now.
gave you the opportunity to like ask you, yo, you need help? Because I have no problem. Like, I wouldn't come and ask you if I didn't want to help you.
Right.
So like, you say no.
Yeah.
I didn't
did my
realize
part.
how difficult it was for guys like dealing with that shit with girls until I started dating girls, and then I was like, "Wow, we're so emotional." Like, I don't know how guys
I
just
can
sit
never
there
date a
and
girl.
like
Oh my goodness, bro.
take all
Like,
of
let's-
that.
You don't
Like,
understand,
it's
bro.
pretty draining, and I feel bad for some of the people I've been with in the past because I'm so emotional.
Bitches
Like, I
is
can't help it.
fine. I can never date one though. Bitches
Because
is
when I'm in
fine.
love, I'm just
Can never
crazy.
date one.
I think
never.
I
Ever
think
date
it's
one.
like you got to kind of understand that everybody's emotional in some way, and I think it's just about if you want to deal with it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't want to deal with it, then you're not gonna deal with it. But if you're willing to, I think it's ultimately about sacrificing some
Right.
things. Like
adjusting.
there has to be some sacrifice if
Some
we're willing
therapy.
to. If we're willing to, yeah, going to therapy, doing things like that to
Yep.
to come more together. Because the more you don't do that, the more you grow apart in a relationship. And you're not
Yep.
trying to grow apart.
Yeah, and
It's so
you're
bad.
seeing different emotions from somebody when you're dating them than like their friends are seeing. Like
Oh,
the way I'm
yeah, of
emotional to
course.
her, like Julia sees like the bad side of me, the good side of me. She sees all of it, but it's just the way I'm emotional toward the people that I date is just so different.
I would say that about other people.
I love it. People are like, she's so overwhelming.
Literally.
I'm like, she's hilarious. She's not overwhelming. Like, I see it and I'm like,
It's
oh
funny
God,
how
that
I
is funny.
say
Like,
stuff like that to other people.
It's
And then
real.
realize you just said it. I know I'm like that. Like how
I love it.
one person gets this version of me, and like that version of me is still happy and stuff, but it's still
Right.
emotional. Sometimes I could be happy, sometimes I'm pissed off, but like, and my friends get more of my happy version just because
Right.
of I don't want to bring my problems onto y'all.
Right.
And so it's funny how I could sit here and I understood that I did it before, but like saying it to someone else and now realizing like, no, I do it too.
Yeah.
Like, and understanding that I do it too kind of helps me understand like, dude, you can't knock them for doing it when you just recognize you're doing it yourself. Like that's not how the game goes. And so I think it's really crazy. I have one last question and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. How can you make peace with the unknown?
trust and believe in divine timing, honestly, as a whole. Like, just trusting in, I'm religious, but not, I believe in religion, but I'm not super religious. I don't go to church or nothing, but I believe in divine timing. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens. It's already written. Like I was saying earlier, like you have to just trust and believe that things are going to happen exactly how they're supposed to, and just kind of like trust the process, because it may come out better than you anticipated. Like I said in the last episode, like you never know what's to come. Just trust it. I mean, I don't know. I trust divine timing like that. Like I'm like, okay, like this is happening and I know it's hard, but there's like a hidden message between everything. There's seriously a hidden message.
That's
You
big
just
facts.
have to, yeah, like something may be hard right now, but at the same time, it's like, it's happening because later you're going to be like, oh, that's why it happened. Like, I mean, I've been through so many situations where we're like, damn, like what the hell? Like this is some shit. Like this is hard. Like why, God, why is this happening? Or the universe, why is this happening? Whatever you believe in, like why is this happening? And a lot of times there's a hidden lower, deeper level of meaning behind everything. It's like, okay, somebody else needs this, or, you know, I recently, as of last week, went through some things. My father broke his leg, and I see it. It was kind of a moment of, I don't even know, like an aligning moment. Yeah, a reflecting moment for me, an aligning moment for me, because I see it like he needed to slow down because, you know, he acts not his age. He acts younger than his age, and he needs to chill, where I need to grow up. So it was almost like a perfect like
time
problem.
for you to,
Yeah, it was a perfect problem. Like, you know,
yeah.
where you see, you're like, damn, like, oh my God, why are we going through this? But like, I needed to grow up, and that's how I view it. I need to grow up. He needs to grow down. He needs to chill out. Like, yeah, he needs to grow down. He needs to chill out. Like, you pushing 50, dog. Like, just vibe. Damn. Like, kick the feet up and sipping a cold one with the boys. Just vibe.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, you know, moments of reflection. You just got to take every little aspect of a situation and just be like, okay, like there's something happening right now. As hard as it is, I'm gonna make it through.
Facts. I like that. I like that answer a lot. Skylar, I want to hear you. How do you make peace with the unknown?
Just reminding myself it is what it is.
Oh my
And
God, that
shit
part.
so funny,
happens.
Brandon, same
Like,
thing.
and she
Yep.
said that the last podcast, she was like, "Edie's what it is."
I know. I was like, oh my God, my corny ass. I'm like, why
Nah,
do I
but
gotta- I
But
gotta
for
do
real,
that?
like if you
Let me
just
vibe. Let me chill.
right, like don't take life that seriously. Like
You
something
only
bad
have
happens
one.
to me, and I'm just like, well,
Yeah, you like hyper.
I mean, what can you
Literally.
do?
Oh
Like,
That's how I am now. It's like I get mad. I'm not gonna lie, but the turnaround in which I like process it, get it out, let go of it is much quicker than it used to. Because before I would let it sit on me and I would start that, like I was saying before, starting to act different, and like now I've gotten to the point. It's an easy decision, honestly, of when something bothers me so much, there's two things I can do. I can be so mad that I allow myself to start to change and start to act different towards you, start to act weird. Or I could just be 100% honest with you and let you know, I didn't like that. Let's cut it out. Let's figure out a way let's come to an understanding, because what just happened, I didn't appreciate. And I'm not trying to start an argument. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to get to an understanding of, I want to know that that wasn't your true intention to make me feel that way.
Right.
And so once I have that understanding that your intention wasn't negative, then we're cool. That's when, but once it's known that it's negative, then it's like why would you, for what? It's just kind of weird and stuff like that. And so that's really, I just need that understanding of like, are you coming at me like that, or are you coming from a good place? Because sometimes that can get mixed in the tone of a message and the body language of someone when they're telling you that message. Like when I see you looking down, or when I see you, I think I've grown up with my parents and stuff like that. Them making sure, like, no, look me in the face when you're talking to me.
Look me in the eye.
Yeah, look me in the eye when I'm talking to you. And so that's something that I really, when I see somebody not looking me in the face while I'm talking, it's like show me some respect. Like,
right.
Eye contact is crazy.
If you're having like a serious conversation, like you got to be looking that person in the eye. Unless, I know some people who are like really uncomfortable with doing that just because of like, I don't know what reason, but I get it.
But
it's I can feel my eye contact get uncomfortable for a lot of people, because I'd be like,
intense.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I've gotten rid of. Like, I used to be like that. I would get nervous, like staring at someone for so long. But now it's just like,
honestly,
like if I'm talking, I got something to say, I'm gonna say it.
Right.
Like if they're nervous,
it shows you're paying attention.
Yeah, it shows that you're. It shows that you're valuing what I'm saying to you,
exactly.
like,
right,
and not just sitting here and letting this shit go one ear out the other. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't even come to you. Like,
right. And you know, if they're lying, if they're looking down, or they're like grabbing their neck and their chest
on
or
their
whatever,
phone, doing other things, it's just kind of, it's a little weird.
Body language, like what you were saying.
I just think to me, it shows a sign of you don't respect me. And because I grew up knowing that when you show the person you're talking to some respect by looking them in the face when you're talking, when you're looking down at, when my parents used to get in trouble and I knew I was in trouble, I would look down. I wouldn't look them in the face because I knew I was wrong. I knew what I was doing or what happened wasn't right. And so that's really major. I think eye contact, and it's just a sign of respect.
Body language too. Like they could be looking you directly in the eye, but they're grabbing at their neck and their chest and they're fidgeting. It's like, I know you're lying.
Yeah.
Like you look like you're itching.
I
just know.
Yeah.
I know you fucking lying.
They like start like literally like itching.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna close it for today, guys. We got some, like Skylar was saying, she's gonna get her Etsy. That's what it's called. She's gonna get that going with the paintings. Honestly, if you want, we'll put some stuff on the Instagram and stuff for people to look at it.
It's gonna be paintings, and then it's gonna probably be some clothing and jewelry, things. I was gonna say,
we can definitely. And speaking of clothing, I'm definitely the mock-ups and stuff. I'll send them to you. We can honestly talk, and you can add whatever you want to add to it, and I can do it and stuff. And next week we'll probably show a lot of that stuff, put it on the screen for you guys to get going and get that stuff going. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and follow the Instagram at Rise Above It Podcast _
Rise Above It.
And subscribe, like,
Rise Above It,
comment, do all of that. And thank you guys for coming, and we're going to catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.